For a more in-depth look at the U.S. Senate race, we're joined tonight by political analyst Harvey Kronberg. Harvey, thanks for coming back on the program. It's good to see you.
I tell you, I leave the state for 5 minutes and people start jumping in Senate races.
Well, Harvey, I want to ask you, what impact do you think the entrance of Congressman Wesley Hunt into the U.S. Senate Republican primary will have on that race?
Well, first of all, it all but guarantees a runoff. Neither Cornyn nor Paxton have been able to break above 40%, despite relentless negative advertising from Senator Cornyn towards Ken Paxton. Second of all, it will eventually reveal who the money is behind Wesley Hunt. He's been telling folks that he anticipates an endorsement from the president. That obviously is the wild card in all this. If it doesn't look like either Paxton or Cornyn can break past 50% or do it convincingly, anything can happen. And third of all, theoretically, 2 weeks ago, I would have argued that, 2 months ago, I would have argued that if it was forced to a runoff, Ken Paxton would be the front runner in a runoff because only the most committed and inflamed of primary voters show up for runoff votes. But pollsters are beginning to suggest that if Paxton is the head of the ticket, that it could cost the congressional redistricting that we just did that was supposed to add an additional 5 seats would be for naught because with Paxton at the top of the ticket, it would make it much more difficult to win those marginal Republican seats that they just drew. So there's all kinds of consequence. There's money in the background that we don't know. And I'll add one final thing, and that is, in a sense, some people are even suggesting it might open the door for a Ronnie Jackson, a congressman from the Houston area that used to be President Trump's physician. If it really does become a mad scramble, he could get in at the last minute, and he's probably would be the most likely to get the endorsement if he decided to jump in. But it does shuffle the decks in a lot of different ways.
With Congressman Hunt joining this race, who do you think benefits the most?
Well, the theory had been that by forcing it to a runoff, Ken Paxton would be the front runner, but his negatives have skyrocketed, subject as a result of all of the negative advertising, the attack ads that John Cornyn has been running against him, particularly in the Metroplex in the Houston area. So while Senator Cornyn's numbers haven't gone up, Attorney General Paxton's numbers have gone down dramatically, and now it looks neck and neck. So I think it's a jump ball if it comes down to those two in the runoff as to which one's going to prevail. I know that the major money would be behind Senator Cornyn because he would be the safer bet for electing more Republicans to the United States House.
Hunt's been spending a lot of money on TV ads introducing himself around the state. Do you think that's going to be enough to help him against the better-known John Cornyn and Ken Paxton?
Well, the good news for Wesley Hunt is that he's kind of a blank slate. Nobody has defined him. There's been no negative attacks against him. So right now he looks like the flavor du jour. And of course, everybody welcomes him into the race. He's a decorated war veteran and a member of Congress. But the attacks are about to start. He is about to get bloodied up, obviously. And he hasn't broken above 20% in any of the polling, despite all the positive biographical ads that they've been running in those two markets. So it's hard for me to see that he's going to be able to pull ahead in any substantial way. But elections are full of surprises, and I guess we'll see.
With Hunt's decision to give up his seat in Congress, that makes 4 Republicans and 2 Democrats who won't be returning to Washington next year representing Texas. How much of a changing of the guard is that, in your opinion?
Well, there's a couple of interesting things. One is that it is a substantial, we're giving up a lot of seniority. We're giving up Texas is losing some relatively serious members of Congress. But what is also interesting is that despite these 5 new supposedly Republican districts, virtually nobody has announced for those new districts, which tells you how thin they may have been drawn in what is likely to be a bad year for Republicans. So we may have done a lot of violence to Republican districts to accomplish very little, and at the same time we're losing seniority. It's not very much fun to be in Congress right now, even if you're in the majority party, because you're mostly just taking instruction and have very little discretion on serious matters in terms of representing your districts.
Okay, Harvey, that's all the time we have for now. Thanks so much again for coming on and talking to us.